News Talk 98.9, the roar of Memphis. Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
Welcome to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning.
And I'm Allan Gilbreth with darkoakmedia.com.
And that's our buddy Max over there behind the glass. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989. And, of course, we invite you to join us over at Tool Talk Radio's Facebook page and check out all the action. And, Allan, I was punctual. I've already got the must-have item of the week put up.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. We got kind of, our buddy Larry Brown is finally dropping by the studio.
Oh, excellent. That's wonderful.
Yeah, actually, he's pretty much on schedule. I was thinking maybe he's overdue for a visit, but no, I think he's back on track here. So, and Larry, I don't know if we'll discuss this on the air or not. Larry came by my house for a consultation, and boy, was that an interesting experience.
Oh, boy. Having been through a number of them, I can't wait to hear how that turned out.
Larry was full of comments about my house. My 70-year-old
What
house.
type of comments?
Yeah, very unique one. So, I don't know. We'll bring that up. But,
There have been a lot of those,
What
Yeah.
type of unique ones?
unique observations, let's just say. But anyway, so he'll be dropping by, and if we're lucky, our buddy Cindy Williams might be coming. She might be calling the show, Allan. She's over. This woman is a marketing genius.
I say, isn't she out at an expo this weekend?
She's
or
at
something?
the Spring Market over there.
Excellent.
It's a Spring Market Memphis. It's a women's show. They sell, you go in there and it's full of all sorts of great, clothing, jewelry, all sorts of women's products. And then in the middle of it, you got Shelf Genie, which I would consider that is the most brilliant. She apparently is swamped over there.
I got news for you. She's totally swarmed right now.
Yeah, she's been saying this has been a busy weekend. It's been very successful. She's always thinking outside the box. So she might be calling in to give us a little field report. So if you're out that way at the Agri Center this weekend, make sure you drop in and see our buddy Cindy Williams with Shelf Genie. So it looks like Max has another one of his deep cuts. This is going to be interesting. A Japanese alcove, which it's home improvement, and it's talking about your Japanese aesthetic, right?
And it's feeding into a discussion we had last week about displaying memorabilia. It's my kind of desire. It's my desired way of displaying stuff.
Okay, yeah, because I think that they have their own aesthetic over there, and I think that's going to be very interesting. Of course, we have our must-have item of the week, and we have what sounds like the name of a country music song, Tree Roots in the Plumbing, Allan.
Oh, that is a topic near and dear to my heart this week.
Okay, awesome. So it's all coming at you today on Tool Talk Radio. But before we get to any of that,
And now, Tool Talk Radio's weekly salute.
I feel like this is kind of a head fake, Allan. Today is a totally different kind of salute. Today, Allan, it's going to sound different because we are saluting ourselves. This is a very important anniversary. Do you remember what anniversary this marks?
Of your recovery from that bad head injury?
Okay. Anyway,
No.
folks, you're not going to get one of my witty insults towards Allan's about some product that was, that we're saluting. We're saluting Tool Talk Radio. And more specifically, we're saluting Allan and I's radio partnership, you could say, because it was 7 years ago that Allan and I started on the radio. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to give them a little history of how that came about?
And the wonderful ice storm.
Yeah. Yeah, they always bring up the ice storm.
Yeah, there was an ice storm involved in that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't start off in home improvement radio. Allan, you and I started off in Geek. We can say Geek Tank Radio was our first collaboration
It
back
was
on
indeed.
another station. So.
However, that conversation took place, as I recall, where I was working on a job for you where I was putting the shell pattern back on a ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being on my earpiece, dangling from a ladder, listening to you going, well, yeah, we can talk about Batman. Sure. Let's.
Yeah, well, as you may or may not know, Allan, Allan, among other things, was a publisher. That was back, you were really pushing your books, because Allan's an author. He writes things, and he was, Dark Oak Press.
Right.
And then I was hot and heavy. I still am hot and heavy in the middle of running the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention. I said, wouldn't it be fun to have a show talking all about superheroes and science fiction and things like that? And you do it on talk radio. I've never heard a show like that. And we can promote our businesses that way. And sure enough, within a month, we were on a specific station.
Didn't take us very long to find a home.
As a matter of fact, we have to give a shout out to our buddy Jake, from the nation of Jake.
Yes.
He helped put us on the air.
He did indeed.
He put us in touch with the right people. We got to know Ditch back then. We got to know our friend Brody Scott. And then eventually, and then Geek Tank Radio just sort of took off and started going really well. But then a new opportunity presented itself. The Fix It Up show. We took over for that because basically the host of that show retired, Kim Shoemake.
And actually, just about this time of year again.
Yeah, so that was 4 or 5 years ago. I have to check the anniversary on that. But then that's what kind of started. And then, of course, we converted over to Tool Talk Radio. And, of course, Larry Brown has been integral in that. I guess it's fitting that he's going to be here today because he was one of the people that kind of helped us make that happen. So then, here we are. 7 years later, Allan's still jaw jacking away. But
you look up and you wonder and you go, is it really been 7 years?
Yeah.
And it's like, and of course I can look at Max over there and go, trust me, it goes by quick.
yeah, Max, you're
Because we look at him and go, you're a lot younger than us, but yeah, it's you're gonna look around 2 or 3 years from now and go, oh my gosh, I've been listening to you two clowns for how long? Yeah.
Not have I been listening to you clowns for this long. I've been managing you clowns for this long.
yeah, no kidding. Well, his 1 year anniversary will be here in July.
Well,
so
that's how quick it happens.
it does. Yep. But we've got actually big plans, and actually on later today on Geek Tank Radio, we're gonna I don't know if we'll discuss those plans, but stay tuned because some of those are going to be coming to fruition.
There are more wonderful things on the way.
We're really only just getting started. You know.
Well, I'm going to throw in the one thing about the being on radio itself. Technology comes. Technologies come and go, but one of the mainstays for well over 100 years has been just good old-fashioned broadcast radio.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those constants like baseball, even though the Cubs, I'm kind of mad at them right now.
Whether you
but
like
anyway.
it or not, we're most likely going to stay here.
Yeah. We're not going anywhere, folks. So we'll get canceled next week, but no. No, but we've got plans, and like we said, we're just getting started over here at 98.9 The Roar. But happy anniversary, Allan.
Oh, happy anniversary to you, Joe.
And anyway, so, hope you enjoyed that salute. Anyway, let's see. Tree roots in the plumbing, Allan. I'm very intrigued. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here at News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
Everything that has transpired has done so according to my design.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
I wish I could say that was true, Allan, but a lot of times just throwing it against the wall.
The fact that you're on the air is because of according to his design.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so he's behind this.
I love it when my cousin stops by.
Absolutely. Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from darkoakmedia.com. And our buddy Max over there behind the glass. You can call or text us on the Big M Roofing and Remodeling hotline at 901-683-0989. And, of course, we invite you to join us over there at the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page and check out all the action and, give us a like. What the heck? Share some of our posts. And if you've got interesting things to report or interesting things to share with us, or if you want to question us in real time, we'll answer. I got my phone right here, Allan. I think I get the alert for that. So in a minute, Allan, tree roots in the plumbing. Boy, have I we've all been there. I think so.
And we're about to trigger a whole lot of people.
And it's that time of year. So before we get to that, though, let's go above the house. Let's go up onto the roof.
Okay.
Let's talk about our buddy Jay Hill with Big M Roofing and Remodeling. Boy, you know what I've noticed, Allan? It seems like the weather just can't make up its mind. It's like, and it's that time of year. You don't know what's gonna happen. You can just suddenly get hit with a flash thunderstorm, and these are the kind of storms that reveal roof damage. Because sometimes if you get just that gentle rain, it's not the same dynamic as when you get those pounding driving rains. And that's when you find out where the damage is.
I will let you in on a little funny about the weather in the Mid-South.
Talk to me.
Right? We got a big fan base in the Dominican Republic.
Well, you keep saying that.
Well,
Yeah. Jose, I
and-
hope Jose's
Well, actually, I talked to Jose this week, and he
good.
goes, "Yeah, I saw your weather on the news. How do you guys live with all that?"
Don't they get hurricanes? And
That's what was cracking me up. He was kind of like, "A hurricane's nothing. How do you guys put up with this constant hot and cold and hot and cold?" And
yeah, it's like paradise down there. I guess,
well, we won't even get into the rest of the discussion about where he lives next to the beach, but
right.
but even someplace else is going. Really, Memphis, you guys and your weather.
Yeah.
We really do get some pretty extreme weather.
We do.
Which is going to kind
All
of
in one
lead
day.
to some of our discussions earlier, and I have to throw in a massive shout out to Mr. Hill. I have now joined the club.
Yeah, it's funny. And what are the hair club for men? There's always the club. Well, now
We
we're
have the roof club.
The roof club. All of us have had Big M Roofing take care of the roofing in our house, and I'm as happy. It's funny. The other day when it was pouring rain, my wife and I were looking at it, and we're like, isn't it nice to not think about the roof anymore? Because in those, it used to be, I'd go upstairs, I'd look at the leaks, I'd be, oh gosh, where's it going to be coming in now? Where's the squirrel trying to get through? Right. Now it's but anyway, circling back to our buddy Jay Hill, yeah, this is the man to talk to if you have any roofing issues, and especially because if you have any roofing issues that might involve working with your homeowner's insurance, because it may be covered by that. He's a GAF Master Elite Installer. He's got 5-star reviews with the Better Business Bureau, Good Housekeeping. He's totally qualified, and he's a lot of fun to work with. I mean, and you will notice a immediate energy and a certain dynamic when Jay Hill arrives on the job.
Oh, yes, you do.
He's great. So give him a call. He'll take care of all that. And, of course, he loves interesting remodeling projects. So, and I might have a remodeling project for him coming up that I'll tell you about later, Allan. So, but get in touch with him directly. You can call him at 901-484-5645 or go to bigmroofingandremodeling.com. Well, Allan, let's talk about our plumbing.
Let's go. All right, well,
specifically the tree roots. Because
I have 3 cautionary tales.
Yeah, I want to weigh in too because I've got some notes here about this.
Okay,
but go ahead. Yeah.
All right, cautionary tale number 1 was a couple of weeks ago of a wet spot kept appearing on a little bit of carpet.
Oh, never a good
sign.
Now,
was this coming from the outside? Was this coming from the inside? Penultimately, what ended up having to happen was pull out a piece of sheetrock, and lo and behold, the insulation wasn't very good from the outside of the building to the inside of the building, and there was now a pinhole leak in the pipe.
Okay.
Happily, people paying attention.
Wait. Hey, why would insulation? I think I know the answer. But why would insulation give it a pinhole leak?
Well, the lack of insulation gave it the pinhole leak.
Froze, expanded,
it got a little
and
bit of.
Yep.
It was like they call those ice jets of air that will come through a hole, that little pinhole,
and maybe not leaving your pipe dripping when it's
and
freezing.
it got to a joint, and now you have a little pinhole drop. And this is one of these things where was it a big problem? No. Was it an expensive problem? No. Could it have been a mold problem by the end of the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Drastically.
Yeah.
So, again, kudos to the homeowner for paying attention. Another one is it's a really good time to go check all of your outside faucets right now, because we did have such an interesting cold snap, warm snap, cold snap. When that happens, occasionally the little metal piece inside your spigot will get compromised by ice, and it can create, again, a very slow drip.
Oh,
and a lot of people don't think about that, but that is water constantly sitting next to your house.
Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah, water is always
and a
the
slow
enemy.
drip, it's pretty, like we said, a slow drip over time will bore a hole through a rock.
Yes.
So it's
it's going to attract. Now, this is where I'm going to throw in, as we get warmer, that little spot is going to attract bugs. It's going to attract, most specifically, ants or termites. It will also attract tree roots.
I was about to say, so talk to me. How do we get to
because
tree
here
roots?
we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Memphis is probably, if you look at Memphis from the air, we are absolutely blessed with beautiful trees.
It's
We've
sort
got
of noteworthy
trees.
because Alan, I've lived a lot of places. You don't notice this out west when you're in a desert climate.
Yeah,
it looks very brown. The first thing you notice when you fly into Memphis is just how green it looks, and you're like, "Where's all the buildings? I don't see any houses." And it's like because from the air at a certain angle, you're just seeing
beautiful
trees,
canopies, big, gorgeous trees. But those big, gorgeous trees have got long, thirsty roots.
Yeah.
And they're all waking up right now.
Yeah. Well, it's this time of year in fall, right? That's when the biggest risk for tree roots.
All right, when you have that false fall and you get that first little cold snap and then it warms back up, that's when everybody goes, we got to get ready to go to sleep.
Oh,
so that's when you get a huge amount of root development, and the tree is like, okay, we need to store our sugars, we need to start dropping our leaves, and get ready to go to bed.
It's
basically.
pretty remarkable too how they can sense moisture and they grasp at it. It's almost like a monster movie.
We'll pick on some of the older parts of town. You said you got a 70, 80-year-old house.
Yeah, 70.
There are a number of parts of town that still have clay and concrete piping.
Right. And
clay and concrete piping to a nice big oak tree is like a safe waiting to be picked. Those roots slowly but surely will penetrate into there, and once they get in, they really start growing.
Yeah. Because now they've got a steady stream of water.
That is water.
They're
is
coil
nutrients.
in there.
And it's going to block up.
Because they love the stuff that comes out of a sewer pipe.
They're having a blast with that. The other thing that happens is sometimes your water intake going into the house. Well, when they built the house, that tree wasn't there.
Yeah, or it was 2 feet tall.
Or it was 4 feet over and 2 foot tall, and nobody cared about it.
Right.
Well, now 10 years, 20 years, maybe in your case, Joe, 60 years later,
right,
that tree has a huge root ball, and it has, even if it hasn't penetrated a pipe, it might have moved it.
Yeah.
We've all seen a sidewalk with a big tree next to it.
Oh, yeah. It just lifts it up.
It moves the concrete. It gnarls its way around it. It does all these things.
The tree root always wins. It'll consume a bicycle if you leave it sitting next to it.
It is like the kite-eating tree.
Yeah.
So, now is a great time to go out there and look of not right after it's rained, but in the next day or so, look around your house and make sure you don't have any pooling or puddling water.
Allan, in all the years we've talked about this, I don't know that I ever made that connection, and I think it's really interesting. You're talking about it's almost like I almost feel like it's like leaving sugar out to attract ants or something.
Yes.
Like I never thought of the whole notion of a dripping pipe could actually be like a leaking hose or a I don't know what, like an irrigation system that's leaking, and that thing could be thing could be just the tree roots are sniffing it out and moving towards it and everything.
One thing in landscaping, a lot of people find out is, you've got that big, beautiful oak tree sitting there in the front yard.
Right.
And a lot of people try to garden around it.
Okay.
And it just seems to always die. Never seems to. And it's like, well, guys, look at the competition.
Yeah.
You got a 40-foot oak trying to soak up everything it can get. Those poor begonias don't have a chance against that monster.
Is that why you have all these patches of just there's no grass growing around the roots of some trees
everything.
And stuff? Yeah,
it
it's
ate
taking all the nutrients.
Those things, these things are. It's hard to think of a tree as being hungry.
Well,
but they really are.
It's funny when you're saying all this. What it reminds me of, it's like if you're serving dinner to a big group of people, you have to feed. The 2-year-old is not going to eat. You're not going to serve them the same thing as the 40-year-old sitting next to them. And it's like you have to think of water the same way, the way you distribute it, the way you distribute your nutrients in the lawn, the way you space the trees out. And if you just throw things in there willy-nilly, you're going to have dead patches. You're going to have things that won't grow.
And keep in mind, they're all going to go back to the fridge after dinner.
Yeah.
So that tree's not happy with just what he got. He's looking for more.
Oh yeah. The tree is it is sounding a lot more like a monster movie, Allan. I like this analogy. This is good. So all right, well, Allan, hey, this is good. Tree roots in the plumbing. When we come back, though, I've got some other things in the plumbing that you're not going to want to.
All right.
That you're going to want to take heed of. How's that? You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9 The Roar, Memphis. We'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
I've been trying to make you know about safety without actually learning about safety the way I did, by not listening to my mom when that snake jumped out of the policeman's boombox.
News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Reptiles will get everywhere. So, reptiles always win. Can we agree on that?
I'm sorry, I just remember opening up a air conditioning unit once upon a time, and well, hello there. How are you? Just came sliding right on out.
Yeah, that was a good one, Max. Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios, where I guess we're under siege, huh, Max? So,
Hey, I had to throw you a curveball somehow.
all right, good. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth with darkoakmedia.com and the ever-vigilant Max, always looking out for the unusual rejoiners just to keep us on our toes. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989, or go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page and give us a like and check out all the action over there. I've already posted the must-have item of the week. People are going to notice, Allan, when they check it out. They're going to go, boy, that thing looks like it's seen a lot of use. Well, it has.
Yep.
This is one of my own personal items that it's seen some battle damage, but it's still working. So,
you get attached to your tools.
Oh yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So.
One of my favorite saws is actually older than me. It was a saw recovery from a barn teardown.
Sure.
The saw is probably about 110 years old and still works fabulous.
That's the way to do it, Allan. Don't put it up on a shelf and just stare at it. Put it to work.
A little WD-40 and start cutting some stuff.
Absolutely. So, well, Allan, I think this was sort of an interesting tree root discussion that we were in the middle of about tree roots and plumbing, and it's not just about. It's about leaving bait, you could say, leaving dripping water. So we're gonna get back to a discussion about plumbing, and really what we're talking about is the main line of your house. Although it does affect other areas, but we're talking about the mainline drain, which is always something to keep clean. Think of it the way you would want to keep your the plumbing in your body clean. Let's just put it that way. So, all right,
You're triggering a commercial job we were on a little bit ago. So
okay,
right,
well,
so
we're going to get
talk
to
about
that.
Some happiness first.
Well, we're going to get to that in a second. Then also we're going to talk about what not to put down the drain. But before that, let's talk about happy news: remodeling your kitchen or bathroom. That's always it's an exciting project, but it's something you definitely have to handle the right way, and you don't just jump into it blindly. And you get informed, and you make sure you contact the right people. And there's nobody better to contact than the good people over at Tri-State Interiors, because Mike Serafolian, among other things, they have a big service area. If you can hear the show, if you're listening over by Jackson, Tennessee, believe it or not, that he services that area.
Yep.
Well into Mississippi, well into Arkansas, all over Tennessee. So right there, that's you've got that going for you. But also, he's all about keeping a low overhead, keeping craftsmanship at the top of the list, sourcing his materials as much as possible regionally within a 3 or 4 hour drive of Memphis, and also not beginning any project until they don't do any demolition. They don't remove one cabinet or anything until all of the materials for the project are safely in their warehouse, ready to go, so that when one stage is over, you go to the next and you've got the materials you need. And also, they're beautiful 3D renderings, which is a really great way to design. You design your entire kitchen virtually before you ever tear anything out, and you can take tours of it. You can make adjustments, and that's the way to do it.
And everybody can express their opinion. You can weigh that out, and you're not changing anything physically.
No, it's fun. You just reconfigure everything. Yeah. You can take a wall out. You can do whatever, and get very comfortable with the design that's coming in, and then you get to work. So it's a good process. And of course, because he keeps his overhead low, you're going to be amazed at the pricing. You're going to go, wow, this is actually something we can budget for. So get in touch with Mike Serafolian. You can call him directly at 901-409-1333, or go to tristateinteriorsllc.com. Well, and I was really intrigued because I'm always happy to learn something new about home improvement. And when we were talking about tree roots, I thought I was pretty well versed in the tree root scenario, more or less. Rules of thumb. Okay, don't plant a tree 10 feet from your house. Don't because it's going to grow, and the roots down. If you look at a tree, I've always heard that whatever you see on top is probably more or less the same size underneath. The tree roots have the same size, the way they expand out and everything. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah, that's the footprint of the tree. Now,
Right.
the common misconception is that a tree roots go down.
Oh, I never thought that. I always thought they spread out like a
Well,
spider.
they do.
Or something.
They do. But
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of look at a tree and go, oh, well, those roots probably go down 10, 20 feet. No, they probably don't.
Yeah, they go
Unless there's an
across.
attractant.
Right.
Now, if there's water, at a like, if you've got a water table 20 feet below, the roots will certainly go that direction.
Sure.
But mostly in the Mid-South, however big the branches are above is how big the root ball is below.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the branches
like
are
an
20
iceberg.
feet out,
you're looking at what part of an iceberg, but most of it's underwater. But although I think it's different in it, but whatever, we get the point. There's a lot going on under there. So
Yes.
plan for that when you plant trees or something. But Allan, for years we were under, we live in a 70-year-old house, like we've
Right.
said. And for a year, I want to say every 6 months I was dealing with what I thought were tree roots. I would have to go to my big box store and rent one of those snakes,
Right.
the motorized augers and everything like that. Luckily, I have good access to my clean out drain, which, by the way, everybody should know where their clean out is.
Oh, my
They should know
gosh,
how to
yes.
open the cap. They should know how to open it up and everything. But I was dealing with that. So we would pour down the little crystals in the toilet that, you flush and then it's supposed to kill it. Well, we had this one time I just hired somebody because I was tired of doing it myself. And he commented, he said, I don't know if he was looking at our toilet paper roll.
Right.
It was that big, thick, cotton or whatever that brand is. The
Jumbo
big
fluffy.
Jumbo fluffy, whatever. And he's like, have you ever thought of switching over to single ply? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I wouldn't mind that. And he goes, I'm telling you, it might make a big difference. And he said, also something to consider is those crystals, because I guess we have metal pipes. It can damage the pipes because those things are corrosive and they eat away at whatever. So you don't want to just rely on harsh chemicals to deal with the problem. Well, Allan, 4 years later, ever since we did the simple thing of switching to single ply, we haven't had a blockage in 4 years. And I'm like, I wonder how many other people are doing that. I know, like those flushable wipes, and maybe they're just throwing too much stuff down the drain.
Well, let's talk about a commercial drain.
Okay.
This is about a month and a half ago. I get called to a facility, and we open up the manhole drain, and the water is about half an inch below the manhole drain.
Oh, wow.
It's
okay.
full, and it has not been raining. It's full.
Oh, boy.
So now we're on the quest for the clean out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because nobody knew where the clean out was. So we search and we search and we search.
Allan, please tell people what to clean out. I think we don't want to just use terms that maybe they don't understand. It's an important function.
Well, a lot of houses, sadly, don't have them.
Or they're buried under
Or
mud.
they're
Or
buried under the bushes or something.
Yeah.
All right, generally speaking, when you have water coming in and you have water in a controlled area, you want to put a shutoff. So this way, if a leak were to spring or something were to become broken, you could easily shut that off.
Right.
All right, that same principle applies to everything leaving.
Yeah.
So, no, but you got to remember, a lot of stuff that you don't realize is in the water leaving your home. Anything that went down to disposal is leaving your home.
Soap, food.
Lint. Oh, the biggie.
Yeah.
Lint, your
Hair.
washing machine.
Right.
Your
Yep.
shower, everything. And lint and hair are shockingly durable.
Oh, yeah.
So-
They don't, it takes a lot.
As these things are leaving the building, what you're traveling through has a lot to do with it. If you have old iron pipes, then they're going to have a texture on the inside that stuff can get hung up on.
All it takes is one little frayed piece of metal or something, and it snags
And
that, and then
something's-
it causes that
And now you begin the beaver dam kind of
Right.
buildup. Stuff
Yeah.
begins piling up behind it. Now it depends on how fast does it break down.
all right. Tell them where the clean out is. Yeah.
The clean out should be above all of this next to your house, and it's a plastic cap. It should be a plastic
Or
cap.
metal. Ours is metal.
Could be a metal cap if it's old enough. And you should be able to unscrew this and be able to get a snake actually into your pipes at that point without having to like tear the toilet off.
You'll notice it too, folks, because it's got a square like thing where you attach the wrench. It's got like
Right,
a
it's got
square
a big-
protrusion.
Big Frankenstein looking bolt sticking up out of your yard.
And Alan, I've found too in the past when we had the big blockage, I would undo the clean out and water would just fly out and all sorts of other unpleasant things.
well-
So, but it also like what would happen with ours is the tub would fill up, and then as soon as you take the cap off, it all flies out of there,
Right.
which is what you don't want, but it's better than it flooding your house. So,
Well, and the number of products that are allegedly flushable these days
yeah,
really are not.
no.
The little handy wipes and all of that sort of things. I know they say they break down, but they don't break down quick enough.
No, I don't trust that stuff. I
No,
don't know.
They
I-
will back up your pipes.
I would say, folks, if you're addicted to that really fluffy type of toilet paper or whatever, I would maybe rethink it or just use it cautiously. I hate to say, but it's just I can only speak from a personal experience. The single ply has been a big lifesaver to us.
Well,
you know?
it breaks down quickly enough that it, even if it gets hung up, it goes ahead and passes on down the pipe the next time the next load of water comes through.
Yeah, sometimes when you're blowing your nose, it breaks down as
Well,
you're using it.
yeah. Sometimes you need to double it up a little bit for personal use.
Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. I guess we'll wrap up that discussion, and then how about this? Let's talk about Max's deep cut.
All right.
You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis. We'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
My clamps!
News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis.
Nothing more heartbreaking than a broken clamp, Allan, I will say.
That's true.
Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from darkoakmedia.com and our buddy Max behind the glass. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989, or go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page and give us a like and check out all the action over there, including the must-have item of the week, which I already posted. You know, because some people like spoilers, Allan. I know the type. I know those guys, they get on the internet as soon as something new is announced about a movie. They want to get out there and blab about it to everybody else and ruin it for them. So, by the way, we don't get paid to say this, but if you are a Batman fan, this new Batman movie is hands down, in my opinion, the best live action Batman ever. I've already seen it twice. I might go see it a third time before it goes to DVD.
Just can't resist, can you?
Yeah, but
Just
if you
can't resist.
but I will say, don't go on the internet if you're interested in the Batman movie. Don't go on YouTube or something and watch these things, because it's kind of a mystery, and you don't want people to ruin the murder mystery aspect to it. It's well worth seeing. Anyway, you can Warner Brothers, you can send that check.
Yeah, yes. Anytime they want to send that check over. Yeah.
Allan, one quick thing before we wrap up our discussion about, we were talking about tree roots in the plumbing.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about what not to flush down. I'm a big advocate of single ply toilet paper. And, let's just wrap it up by talking about, if you do have an issue and maybe you don't need the nuclear option of the auger and the snake running through there. There's a few products that maybe are more, I don't know, they're not as they're not as bad for the environment, you could say. But
at first, basically, we had really harsh chemicals,
right,
designed to kill tree roots, dissolve hair, and that kind of thing. Now, there's a new generation of clog removers that are from gentle maintenance to serious clog removal.
I think maintenance is the way to go. It's like taking a vitamin every day.
Well, it's funny you
probiotic
say
or
it
something.
like that, because they've started making a lot of these enzyme sticks.
Right.
And the enzymes are designed for like fibers, fat, and the other usual clog containants, that form up in the pipe. And you can drop one of these little sticks down in your sink, and it will sink down into the lid to the trap. And now it will just gently release a small amount of enzyme every time you run water through the sink. And that helps just gently keep the pipes and everything a lot more clean.
Right.
And that way you just avoid having a clog altogether.
Yeah, you treat it like your body. It's like don't just fill your body with terrible things, get all blocked up, or clog your arteries or something. Keep everything moving every day.
So I discovered this line of products going back about 3 or 4 years now, and both commercially and residentially, I have converted to being a big fan.
Yeah.
Because so many little problems go away. Slow drains go away. Well, when you open that clean out, you just don't want to do that.
No.
It's just not happy.
But now that we're talking about it, Alan, I suppose if in terms of eco-friendly, it's actually more eco-friendly to use the snake and the auger because you're not putting chemicals, you're just physically removing the item, the things from the pipe. So maybe that is.
Well, the enzymes that they're using are the enzymes that the microbes use to break this stuff down anyway.
Yeah.
So
I like the preventative nature of what you're talking about. So
and making sure that your clean out is available in case you do get a clog and you need a product, you can put it down the clean out instead of having to try to flush it down your toilet or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll stay on top of this because I feel like tree roots and just clogged plumbing are going to be
soon. Yeah.
They're going to be in the news, or they're going to be on our minds soon. But let's shift gears. This is interesting. A few weeks ago, we were talking about collectibles and memorabilia, or just maybe ways you want to display things in your home. And then I guess Max had inspired a deep cut, right? So
And now, a deep cut with Maximilian.
He's been waiting to play that.
Anyways.
All right, Max. Boy, he has way too much fun over in that production
And they
booth,
think
so.
I'm a ham. Really.
You're welcome.
All right. Talk to us, Max.
Well, yes. As people might know, I have a great love of like Japanese culture and like the language and everything. And so when you all were talking about like all this, the more Western way of like displaying your memorabilia, it made me think of the more simplistic Japanese aesthetic known as the tokonoma, which is the Western equivalent, Japanese equivalent of an alcove. And what's interesting about the alcove,
You mean in your home?
in your home, yes.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily for displaying memorabilia, but things that are kind of like special to you. So, for example, they keep things very simple in the tokonoma. You might have like a hanging scroll or a flower arrangement or a bonsai, but it's very spacious, very empty. And what's interesting about the alcove itself is that what you display is not fixed. It might vary throughout the season. The equivalent might be like you might display like a different Star Wars collectible throughout the season. But what I like about the tokonoma aesthetic is that you still keep things incredibly simple and spacious.
Yeah, and so your attention is fixed on whatever that item might be. And it actually, Max, reminds me a little of how we decorate for the holidays. You have Christmas, you have different times you decorate, but you're saying this is also in line with, just the way they display memorabilia or art in their home. So.
And not only that, but there's a whole etiquette around this tokonoma too, which I find very fascinating.
What's that?
Well, first of all, when you have guests over and everything, the proper etiquette is to seat the most important guest with his or her back to the tokonoma, because this is a display of modesty. The host shouldn't feel like they're showing off the contents of whatever it is that's in displaying in the tokonoma, which I like a lot, because maybe we have more of the inclination to show like, hey, look at that. I got that exclusive Star Trek poster right there.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Okay, the notion is you don't just post them right there and go, hey, check out this awesome item I have. They can discover it on their own.
Right. It is posted with humility.
That's cool. I like that. And I've noticed there is a certain humility, and there's a certain appreciation for things like Max. Didn't you tell me in Japanese culture, if you're doing business with somebody and you present your business card, you don't just say, "Oh, thank you," and stick it in your pocket. You observe. Isn't there an etiquette for that as well? So.
Yeah, even down to the manner in which you receive the business card, like the exchange that occurs. Because it's sort of like you could call it like a sacred routine, because like they put their heart and soul into that card that represents an extension of who they are.
And I think you're supposed to look at it and comment on it, or in other words, you're not just it's something important that they've handed you. It represents that. The Japanese aesthetic is very interesting in that. I do like I feel like a lot of the minimalism and a lot of their sensibilities have kind of finally made it over here, though, don't you think? Minimalism is a big deal now. So
because like there's a lot of spaciousness to like making your room a little bit more empty. You could have a very small room, and yet emptying it out can make it feel a lot more free and clear, and it gives you a lot more peace of mind. It's the whole ideal of a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. We'll just flip it around.
Yeah, and what's it called again?
Tokonoma. And there's several theories about like where the origins of the tokonoma came from. There's one that says that it comes from something called an oshi-ita, which they had in Buddhist monasteries that displayed certain altar fittings such as candlesticks, incense burners, and vases. And then they also had like a hanging scroll with like a Buddhist theme on there.
So is there things that are only meant for the alcove, or what if there was an important item, like maybe from your family, like maybe your grandfather made something or whatever?
The rules perhaps might be flexible, but it is meant to be something where you display your finest.
Do most homes have one of these?
It depends. It depends upon if it's more Western styled or like traditional styled. It might vary from home to home.
It's kind of reminded me of a fireplace mantle. Like it seems like special items are posted or placed over a fireplace mantle.
That's really weird that you say that, because the architect Frank Lloyd Wright was actually influenced by Japanese architecture, and he said that he translated the meaning of tokonoma into the Western counterpart, the fireplace.
Huh. There you go, Alan. Because, I mean, fireplaces, they're central. It used to be before people started sticking their flat screen TVs over the fireplace. That was like where you put the family portraits, or you put, the fire itself was a form of entertainment. Just,
well, and again, as we've talked about certain inventions that totally and utterly changed how we lived, the fireplace was a centerpiece of the home for, thousands of years. And it's only been since we've had air conditioning, and basically the air conditioning, but that also implied central heat.
Right. Yeah.
That we have moved away from the centerpiece of the fireplace.
Yeah.
Is that the notion of the home is where the hearth is?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
that was the warm spot.
It was where the cooking was, or it might even just be where it wasn't all that long ago. People had those things where they made popcorn over the, they had that big shaker, or they toasted marshmallows, or I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea to do anymore.
Well, not in our modern fireplaces,
right? I guess when you have a stone floor and stone walls and whatever else, maybe.
Well, I was at a facility last night that still had a separate kitchen. The kitchen's in a whole different building from the building was built in 1840.
There you go, Max. He turned it into a food reference. Alan can turn anything into a food reference. He
brought up the fireplace. That's where you cooked.
That was cool, Max. I like that. I love these deep cuts, man. Really interesting. All right, well, Alan, Tool Talk, first hour Tool Talk radio's in the can. We survived, and we're going for more. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9 The Roar, Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and then I believe our buddy Larry Brown from Brown Refrigeration is dropping in.
News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis. Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allen.
And welcome to Hour 2 of Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from darkoakmedia.com, and our buddy Max behind the glass, and the man himself, Larry Brown, who keeps the lights on He's you done a nice job, sir. I love the studio. I love what you've done with the place. You know,
It was a lot of work, Joe, but
Yeah.
it turned out beautiful, didn't it?
Absolutely. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989 and go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page and give us a like and check out all the action over there, especially if you've got any HVAC questions or any questions about your clean air systems. Larry, before we get to that, though, another one of our wonderful sponsors, Shelf Genie of the Mid-South, Cindy Williams, she's on tour. You know, she's all over town. They set up at all these different events. Cindy, this weekend you're over at the Spring Market of Memphis and in the Agri Center, right?
Right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking my call and having me on. I just wanted to invite everyone to come get their hands on some Shelf Genie pullouts. We call it a test drive. You know, take them for a test drive. And because we're displaying at the Spring Market at the Agri Center.
A test drive. That's pretty funny. I like that. So,
Yeah.
But it is something to see the setup in person. It makes a difference, folks. When you, it's funny, you know, Cindy, I will give you this. Not only is Shelf Genie a great product, you guys are, everybody there is highly qualified, but you're also a marketing genius. She's at, Allan, you walk in there, it's a bunch of women's booths selling women's clothing, custom women's product, beauty products, and then in the middle of it, you got Shelf Genie. You talk about hunting over a baited field. I mean,
Joe, I tell you time and time again, food is fun. The kitchen is the center of the house. And huge shout out to the Shelf Genie display.
So
I love watching people's eyes as they open that cabinet and realize I can use every square inch of this thing.
oh, yeah. So what's going on over there, Cindy? You open in, what, about an hour? Something like that?
No, the show has already begun, and I'm in the car calling you because it's so busy and noisy, and there is a steady flow of cars into this parking lot. It is going to be a really busy, fun, high-energy day, and the vendors are amazing. There's so many vendors, and just like you were saying, you know, mostly women. There are some men here, but lots of homeowners who own kitchens and share the same frustrations. And when they see our display, they see their frustration being solved of being able to pull out their contents instead of getting on hands and knees and digging around for content or letting things go to die at the back of their pantry. Now their whole entire pantry, like was just mentioned, every square inch is available because they glide out on these wonderful you know, custom built shelves that have a lifetime guarantee, made in America. And, you know, we just truly add value to people's lives, the way they live in that most important house. I mean, most important room in the house.
You know, it's funny, Cindy. We've seen you at several events, and we always call the Shelf Genie booth is sort of the party booth. For one thing, you know, you really do it up right. It's almost like walking into a nice, comfortable kitchen or something, but it's not just that there's people walking up that are interested, you know, in checking you out for the first time. You have these customers that you've already taken care of, and they say, they come in to tell you how happy they are with their product. Yeah. It's like a big love fest, Allan.
It's so much fun, you know, to see their faces light up, and they're so excited, and their energy. And yesterday, just before noon, we had 3 of our customers, and a total of 4 for the day, that revisited us and said, I'm ready for phase 2. I'm ready for you to come back and do under the sinks in my bathrooms, or add the pantry, or, you know, other storage areas in their home. So any place that a pullout adds greater accessibility, once they've enjoyed that, they're seeing all these other places in their home where, I can't live without this. It's time to have Shelf Genie come back. So we love to hear that, you know.
Oh, it's fun.
It's even better to get those reviews in person. Of course, there's lots on our website at shelfgenie.com. People can go read the reviews that our happy customers write in, but it's really fun to, you know, interact with them.
Yeah, and Larry's excited too, Larry, because every time you're on the show, you either wind up with a honey-do list, or now you've got a place that you've got to take your wife to this afternoon, right? I mean,
well, maybe I may let her go by herself. It sounds like a women's deal. So
yeah. I don't know, man. It's fun, and definitely throw. If she comes by the Shelf Genie booth, Alan or Larry, we know what's going to happen at that point. Too,
Oh
so.
yeah, it'll be another kitchen deal. So kitchen project.
Yeah.
So.
But the nice thing about our kitchen project is from start to finish, we take care of all of it. So we come alongside remodelers and husbands who, even if they can do it themselves in some degree, then, this is one they can confidently turn over to our certified team. We have designers that like today at the show, we're booking free consultations in the home. And that's one reason we do shows is because we're an in-home business. And we come to you and listen and learn and observe in the kitchen and other places in the home what's frustrating. We do a 3D design as the customer is deciding what solutions are going to work best for them. And it's truly customized to the homeowner and how they live in their spaces. And then the certified installers do all the precise measuring. Our USA manufacturers craft it to be exactly the right fit, and then our installers install it and guarantee their work, and we stand behind them and guarantee it. And so for a lifetime, that hubby never has to, if a screw comes loose, that's my responsibility. They do not have to try to make this work. It's going to be done right the first time.
It's cool. We love Shelf Genie. So Cindy,
thank you.
Hopefully a lot of people are going to drop by and visit you today. But if they can't make it to the home show, what's the best way to get in touch with Shelf Genie?
Well, I don't have your phone number in front of me, Joe, but if you have the...
I've got it. How about this? 901-422-8225. That's the phone number to get in touch with. But what if they want to check out... you guys have a great website, too.
We do. And the simplest thing to remember is just shelfgenie.com. And then you can search Memphis or your zip code or some other town name, and it will get you to our local team page. Because although we're a franchise, we're a locally owned franchise. My sister and I are the local franchise owners, and all of our team live here. All of our service is done by our local folks that you'll love, and they will love you. And we are so happy to add value to all these homeowners that we're seeing today, and hopefully we'll just bring joy and love of their kitchen again to places that were formerly frustrating.
Oh, it's great. And, you can hear that, Alan. I've never met anybody that gets as excited about their work as Cindy Williams and works hard. But, Cindy, it sounds like we better let you go, and you better, get your caffeine today, and, I hope you have comfortable shoes on. It sounds like you're in for a busy day, my friend, but good luck. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
yeah, thanks again for having me. I hope to have everybody mention if they heard us on Tool Talk, let us know at our booth at the Spring Market.
Absolutely. All right, Cindy, good luck. We're going to let you go.
Thanks. See ya.
Talk to you soon. Okay. Boy, what a ball of energy. She makes me feel old because it's
I know she's a go-getter, hard worker, constantly out there hustling.
Yeah.
And provides a great product and a great service. Just a class act all the way around.
She's great. That's how we deal. Alan and I may not be class acts, but we only deal with the finest sponsors. So, and as a matter of fact, when we come back, we're gonna talk about that. Larry, in addition to talking HVAC today, I feel like we might a little bit later do a little history lesson because. As we said, today is a 7-year anniversary for Alan and I being on the radio together, and Tool Talk Radio wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Larry Brown. We may give you a little behind-the-scenes history of that. It's your fault, sir. Anyway, I like that.
That's one way to phrase it.
Yeah. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9 The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan. News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
I don't know how to react to that. That was great, Max, although it sounded like one of Alan's job sites. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio. Coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios, I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning. Here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth with darkoakmedia.com. And the ever-surprising Max, the producer behind the glass. I don't know what that was.
Who's looking amazingly smug right now.
He loves these crazy rejoiners. And, of course, we got the man himself, the man who keeps the lights on around here, the man who, without whom Tool Talk Radio wouldn't even exist. Larry Brown from Brown Refrigeration. If you tuned in earlier this morning, you know that we did a little salute to ourselves. Allan, this is our 7-year anniversary of being on the radio. And, of course, Larry, you are largely responsible for us being on Tool Talk Radio. So we're gonna unpack that later. Stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna do a little history lesson or just a history report. And if you want to blame anybody, blame the man sitting over here.
Yeah,
So.
okay.
But Larry, if you don't mind today, this is another. You came by my house finally. After years, I'm finally addressing my HVAC problems, and I'm going to bare my soul on the air, Allan. I'm going to humiliate myself. I host a home improvement show, and yet my HVAC system is really disgraceful. It's a mess. And Larry, you're going to help me fix that. I hope.
We're going to help you. We're going to get you fixed up, Joe. So the current furnace, we're going to donate that to the Smithsonian Museum because I think it came over on the Mayflower, I believe, or somewhere thereabouts. So
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
But hey, that's what we're here for.
At Joe's house, I'll have to warn you might find a squirrel from 1955 trapped in some place.
Oh, you think so?
You don't know what you might find.
Joe is Joe's house has a long history of bizarreness.
Absolutely,
and a history with squirrels.
Yeah, we've battled squirrels for a long time. Although we've won the battle, I think. I don't.
You turned the tide when you finally got that new roof on there that was good and tight.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So that helps.
So Larry, before we dive into that, you're always good about bringing us specials too. So if you can give us the specials, and then just a reminder, if you've got any HVAC questions, this is a great time to call in or text us at 901 at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989. But what are the specials first off? So,
well, I try to bring a special every time I come to the show, and just it's spring. Spring is sprung. We haven't hit that 85-degree weather, but I've lived in Memphis all my life, and you know what's going to happen. One day it's going to go pow, and it's going to turn hot, and it's going to be hot till October, okay? So you got to be ready. So, get your air conditioners tuned up. We're offering a $69.99 service special. That'll be on your first unit, $39.99 for each additional unit. We're going to come out and get your air conditioner ready for the summer. Clean the condenser coil, check your refrigerant levels. Just give it the once-over, put your new filter in. Make sure you're ready for when the hot weather gets here. You'll be ready to turn it on with no problems. So, and if you're interested in a new Train heating and air conditioning unit, well, we've got a new promo going on. It just started yesterday, $600 rebate, up to a $600 rebate on a new Train system. And we're offering 24 months, no interest financing. So, if you want to take advantage of that great offer, you can get a rebate, plus you could get some no interest financing for 2 years. It'll, get you on the road to get a new system. Also, if you're interested in that, we'd be glad to help you. Also, we're offering $100 off on our great Remy Halo products.
Oh yeah.
So we can hook you up with that. Get you some, some clean air in your home. Take advantage of the new Train. New Train heating and air conditioning system. Get you a new Remy Halo. Or if you got your unit, you just want to get it serviced, you can give us a call. 362-1881 is the number. You can check us out at brownref.com, or you can check us out on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Be glad to help you.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Larry, is the I think I asked you this before, but is the Remy Halo going to help with my allergies? The pollen seems really bad right now, man. It's
absolutely. So, excuse me. So I've got the pollen problem myself.
Oh,
so,
we're all, yeah.
But I was walking in the door earlier, just a few minutes ago, and I noticed that like the trash can out front's covered with green dust.
Got that little dust. Yeah.
So we're in the pollen season. So Remy Halos help out with all pollen, bacteria, viruses, mold, all kind of airborne nasties that are out there. It's going to help, mitigate those, make your home air cleaner, easier to breathe. The EPA says that your indoor air is up to 5 times more contaminated than the outdoor air. So, when you go in your home, that's your castle, your safe place, but your air is probably dirty. It needs to be cleaned. Not that your house is dirty, but it's just stuff floating around. Pollen comes in, it's stuck in your house, it's floating around. You need something to help mitigate that and help control that. Remy Halos is your product.
Yeah, it's the nature of where we live. I mean, you look at, like you said, there's a layer of just, of greenish yellow dust that's floating everywhere. Yep. I've had those times where the sun is pouring through a window and you're just watching all these little particulates floating around. It's like, okay, well, I'm breathing that in, so no wonder I'm sneezing. So.
And when you walk outside and your black truck is yellow,
right?
Yeah, you got some trees around.
Oh
you.
Yeah. And when you come in your home, you've got it on your clothes, you got it on your shoes. You get, if you got a pet, when they go out, they're going to bring it back in. So it's just it gets in your home and it doesn't go away. So you need to, like I say, got to have something to help control it.
All right, and there's a lot of great special, a lot of reasons to call in, and plus, if you're lucky, if you call, you may get to talk to Mrs. Brown, who's a riot, and that's worth the price of admission right there. If you can get her on the line, I don't know, is that possible, Larry?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cool.
So, she's there answers the phone sometimes. So, give us a call. I may even be there and be glad to talk with you. And we'd love to help you with any of your HVAC needs.
Okay. So Larry, I'm really embarrassing myself by doing this, but I think it's a worthy enterprise. So basically, I live in an older home. Like I said, I live in a home that was built in 1952. And I've looked around town, I've looked around my neighborhood. A lot of homes are this same age. So we are way behind the times with our HVAC system. So we like you said, we have our original furnace in there.
Right.
Now, Larry kind of laughed when he saw it because I said, "Hey, Larry, is this thing worth anything as an antique?" And
it doesn't really age like that.
So the scrap metal guy might give me $20 for, or I don't know what, but I think it looks cool. I might save it as a piece of yard art or something. But sure, my wife would love that. But
I was going to say, I want to see you get that one passed.
But Larry, it's not just a matter of just switching. It's not like you just take that one out because we do have a nice big closet where that unit is parked. But as you pointed out, there's several things happening that it's not just a matter of switching that out. There's duct work to be considered. There's airflow. There's the fact that we have a Cape Cod style house is problematic, right? So
your system was just set up for central heat. It wasn't really set up for central air, which was real common in the 50s. Most folks back then, they did maybe have central heat, but they used window air conditioners.
Right.
So, it's gonna be a challenge to get this thing completely converted over to a new modern day heating and air conditioning system.
Yeah.
But we can do it. Well, I'm confident that we can take care of it. But your house in particular is one of the most challenging ones I've seen in a long time. So
why am I not surprised? I'm just not surprised.
Yeah, we know the history of that. And it's funny that you say that, too, because as we said earlier, Jay Hill put a new roof on my house, and he said almost the same thing about the roof. It's like, and I've said the same thing during times when I've worked on my house. It is sort of like, I started wondering if there was even building codes back when my house was built. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to unpack that when we come back.
We're going to talk about your house some more here in a minute.
You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break and then continue the drama of my HVAC system.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
I'm always thinking one step ahead, like a carpenter that makes stairs.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis.
I don't think I'd hire that guy to build my stairs if you... you got to plan a little further ahead. Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from darkoakmedia.com and our buddy Max behind the glass, and the man himself, Larry Brown from Brown Refrigeration. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989, and go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page and give us a like, and you can check out the must-have item of the week, which has already been posted. And, of course, Allan will post our past shows up there. There's links there. You can listen through Spotify, YouTube. There's other platforms, but those are the two that we showcase.
Well, yeah, we are basically available around the world. You can take us with you, and we're available, as they love to say, wherever podcasts are to be found.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, and it's nice because it's saved for the ages. So we have to watch what we say, because 20 years from now, somebody could still be listening to this nonsense. But anyway, hey, Larry, I'm sort of bearing my soul, and I don't know if I'm destroying my credibility as a host of a home improvement show. But, you know, what is the saying? The carpenters, the cobbler's kids have no shoes or something.
Yep, the cobbler's
I've
kids
done
have
a lot
no
of work.
shoes. The
Yeah.
mechanic's car is always the rattiest.
Right.
I've done a lot.
The carpenter's house is always the one needing the most work.
Right.
So.
I've done a lot of work to my house. I'm proud of a lot of the improvements I made, but there's just so many hours in the day, and there's things that we've kind of, gotten used to, but it's time now that our kids are done with college. Our kids we're at a point in our life where we want to get the house finally just to a point. And the thing that's been really lacking is our HVAC system. And so I brought Larry over, and after he stopped laughing for about 20 minutes, we got to work and started figuring out. And the first thing you noticed, Larry, so I have a Cape Cod style house built in 1952 in the middle of an area where there's a lot of other homes that age. And Larry opened the closet where our the very roomy closet, I will say, where our or where our heating system is. He goes, just so you know, that's asbestos right there.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
You are in that era.
So what's that all about? So that's one. That's strike one. So what's that all about, Larry?
Well, back in the 50s, asbestos was fairly common used product, and the tape that they use to seal your ductwork with has asbestos in it. But we have a company that we work with that is a certified asbestos abatement company, and so we get them involved, and they can do the abatement and do it to all the standards and everything that needs to be done, and we get all that removed before we start doing any work. So it's going to be safe for you, and it's going to be safe for our workers, okay? So, and it's not as big a deal as somebody, it is a little expensive, but it's not too big a deal, and it's something you really want to get it out of your house, Joe,
Right. Well, you definitely don't want to stir it up.
You don't want to stir it up.
I want to make that stuff airborne.
Right,
That's correct.
Right. So, but it is something that we need to address, because if we do start removing units and ductwork and stuff, it is going to get friable, as they say, so it'll be airborne. Once you get it airborne, then it could be, you could breathe it in, it could cause you problems. So that's something we can take. We obviously subcontract this to another company, but we can make it part of our package.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want to say that about Brown Refrigeration too, because it's not just your technicians, and it's not just your team over there. You've got a lot of support teams. Like you've got I love your electrician. He's awesome. He rescued us during the last ice storm. But you've got other, I guess they're subcontractors, right?
Yeah, it's partners that we work with. So if we need an electrician, just we can make that part of our package, and we'll partner up with our team or our partners. And if they need wiring done for your HVAC unit, we can handle that. The asbestos, which we don't see that too much, but we do see it occasionally. We can take care of that problem for you. Any of that kind of related stuff, we can, we have partners that we work with that we can take, again, make that part of our total package. So you don't have to worry about going out and finding an electrician. You don't have to worry about going out and finding somebody. We've got people we work with all the time.
Okay, so that's That's one issue. The other issue, and this is related to the ducts, or to my ductwork, Larry, is okay. Back in the day when they built this, they didn't build it for air conditioning. They built it for a heating system. And today, the ductwork is insulated, right, to protect against moisture, so that moisture doesn't come through into your ceiling or your walls or something. So we have an issue where you can't just, like I said, switch this out. You have to consider the ductwork as well. So that's a challenge. I think you're talking about these high pressure ducts that we might.
Well, that's a possibility. You know, we've got several different ways of, trying to attack this situation. And, but, obviously your ducts weren't insulated. They really need to be insulated in the heating mode, but now you're going to blow cold air through it. So it's going to just like a cold drink would sweat. That's what's going to happen to your ductwork. So if you don't insulate it, you're going to have this moisture coming off those ducts, and it's going to damage your home, or it's just not a good situation. So we got to insulate them or replace them. Probably in your situation, we'll probably just replace them since there's asbestos on there. We'll probably just have those taken out. But your house is a very challenging project. But again, it's something I think we can tackle it.
Yeah, because we don't have an attic, and I think I've seen. I've seen homes, Allan, where you basically you're like, why is there a line of mildew running down that ceiling? Why is there a line? And I think this is explaining it. If you have uninsulated ductwork or something, right?
Well,
I mean, you got moisture just penetrating there. So.
Well, and to tie along with our idea of 30 years of stupid, you also get 50 years of unintended consequences.
Oh yeah,
because. Different types of insulation have been used over the last 40, 50 years. Different types of pipes have been used. Different types of wiring have been used. We've had all different kinds of products as something new came on the market. Maybe it was a great idea. 10 years later, you find out, no, that wasn't such a great idea. But now you've got how many houses built with that product.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When certain wood products have come out, some of them have truly excelled and been amazing. Any type of plywood, something like that. But Joe, you and I both know there have been some other products.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
pressboard. Yeah, the 70s are not.
There were, especially in the mid 70s, there were a number of products that were, let's just say, less than stellar.
Yeah. So if you see that may be somebody back in the day. They just switched it out and they didn't.
Very possible. So today we also have very different standards. We now have an air quality standard. We now have a chemical content standard. We have the fireproofing capability. We have a lot of different modern takes on what makes your home safe and livable.
Right.
So when you get into these projects, this is, I remember we were doing a little job downtown, and honest to goodness, we walked in the basement of the home, and there was a hot water heater from roughly the 40s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Still had the big spaceship looking parts on it. And we were there to remove it, but, we just walked in. The younger people I had with me were just like, staring at it like, what is that? And I'm like, that's what we're here to get out of here.
Yeah.
They're like, that's a hot water tank? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Well, Larry, I've had the unique experience of walking into one of the original 20-ton air conditioners in Memphis.
Right.
And it's in the basement of a building downtown, and it's where 20 tons of ice used to be loaded into the bottom of the building, and a ship's propeller on a chain was spun and blew the air up the air ducts.
Yeah, can you install something like that in my house, Larry? That might be
possibly.
fun.
So, but everything was cracking up because nobody could figure out what this big propeller was doing in a basement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was looking at it, and then I saw the chutes at the end of the bay, and of course I started laughing because I was like, we measure air conditioning by the ton. Based on the cooling ability of 1 ton of ice.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I got a couple more questions for you when we go to break after we come back from break. But it's funny because I'm partly I'm watching, to learn about what I need to have done with my house, when Larry came over the other day. But part of it was also, hey, we're going to get some good show content out of this. The more disastrous my situation is, the more entertaining it is for the listeners. So, hey, Larry, real quick, how do people get in touch with Brown Refrigeration?
Oh, you can give us a call, 901-362-1881, or you can check us out on the web at brownref.com. Just give us a call if we can help you in any way.
Okay, and when we come back, we'll recap. You've got quite a number of specials that the listeners can take advantage of. You're listening to Tool Talk Radio here on News Talk 98.9, The Roar of Memphis. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Tool Talk Radio with Joe and Allan.
If you cut every corner, you'll have more time for play. It's the American
I resent that, Allan.
News Talk 98.9, The Roar
I'm a proud patriot,
Memphis.
and Max, shame on you for that one. Anyway, welcome back to...
Hey, I had to end with a banger.
Anyway, welcome back to Tool Talk Radio, coming to you from the Brown Refrigeration Studios. I'm Joe Thorderson with Thor's Hammer, Carpentry, and Wood Turning, here with my buddy Allan Gilbreth from darkoakmedia.com, and the, I don't want to say he's unpatriotic, but the shocking Max behind the glass.
The triggering Maximilian.
Yeah. And our buddy Larry Brown from Brown Refrigeration is here in the house. You can call or text us at the Big M Roofing and Remodeling Hotline at 901-683-0989, and go to the Tool Talk Radio Facebook page. Give us a like. Check out our past shows. Check out our must-have item of the week and all that good stuff, and join the Tool Talk Radio community. Well, we've got a lot to get to, Allan. We better be efficient here. So, Larry, just to recap, you always bring us some great specials for the listeners, and if they want to take advantage of this, what do you got for us today?
Okay, so like I said earlier, spring is here. It's going to be right around the corner. We're going to go from 70 or 65 one day to 85 or 90 the next. So get your air serviced. We're offering a spring service special, $69.99 for your first unit, $39.99 for each additional unit. So if you got 2, 3, 4, just do the math, and we'd be glad to come out and get you all tuned up for the hot summer months. If you're interested in a new Train heating and air conditioning system, we have a promo going on right now. Up to a $600 rebate on a new Train heating and air conditioning system. We're also offering 24-month no interest financing on any new system, so you can take advantage of the rebate as well as the no interest financing. It's a great way to get a new system installed. You have 24 months to pay for it, and you're going to take advantage of the it's a new system. You're going to get energy savings, which are going to offset the cost of the new unit. So if you're interested in that, we can definitely take care of you. If you're interested in a Remy Halo that we talked about earlier, $100 off on that. So if you'd like to take advantage of any of these great offers, you can give us a call, 901-362-1881, or you can check us out on the web at brownref.com.
Awesome. So, well, as we've told listeners, Larry, you were at my house, which it's, as we've said, full disclosure, it's a 70-year-old house. It was built in 1952. It is the heating system and the HVAC system is just way out of date. It's something we've gotten by. I mean, it works. It's not as efficient. It's not as great as it could be. But it's time. It's time for us to update it. And among other things, we're dealing with asbestos on the ductwork. We're dealing with a really weird configuration because it's a Cape Cod style house with a single unit that's trying to get airflow to all the rooms and everything. Mm-hmm. And Larry, you even commented there's one we're doing some detective work to find out where it's actually coming from. There's one duct we're like, where the heck is that thing going? So you're going to bring your little camera on the next visit?
That's correct. We're going to come out and bring some cameras, do some more investigation. Obviously, the duct is coming from your heating unit to this mystery vent we're discussing, but it's I don't know how it's getting there. So I mean, it's got to be
because the rafters run a
be
certain way.
entombed in your house somewhere. So we'll have to kind of do a little investigation and figure out which way that's going.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a challenge for your home for sure, but I don't think it's anything we can't take care of.
I'm having a little flashback on an addition we were investigating a couple of years ago, and air vent looked beautiful. Everything was great. You climbed up on that side, and the ductwork looked perfect, and went around on the other side of the smoke wall and could not find this duct anywhere. And whoever had hung it literally hung it right there on the wall.
Yeah, well, that's what we're
They
kind of
never
afraid
took
of.
it through.
Never
They
connected
like,
it,
oh, God.
Yeah, we'll, I think there's a follow-up report coming on
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Alan. After,
I'm dying to hear where this duct went,
Yeah,
because
so
it's gone someplace crazy.
Stay tuned for the ongoing drama of my HVAC system. But yeah, Larry, this is great, and it's fun working with you on a professional capacity, even though I'm the victim here. And it's like, but it's giving us stuff to talk about on Tool Talk.
I'm enjoying it.
Sure.
All right, guys, we got a few things to get to. Real quick, Alan, this is a simple item, so let's just let's get to our must-have item of the week. Tell people what I'm holding up here, sir.
Oh my gosh, the infamous 3-inch spackling and or putty knife.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page, you're going to see this rather disheveled and beaten up. This thing's it's seen a lot of battle damage. Larry.
It is a work of beauty, Joe. That shows the love and care and sheer abuse of 20 years of being in your toolbox.
Yeah, well, I've got several spackle knives, but this one, it's got the little angled, it's tapered, and I find that it's a good size, because the small, I have like an 1.5-inch utility knife, and you know, when you're spackling a hole or something, it's good for the really small holes, but then sometimes the stuff, it you know, the spackle or the wood filler bleeds over the side. I find this one, it fits inside the can most of the time. It's just sort of my go-to one. This one has outlasted all the other ones. It's just the 3-inch is a nice size, and if you get one that's got a taper to it. And I don't know your feelings, Larry. Do you go for the high-end spackle knives, or you just grab the quickie? Because I mean, to be honest, there's some applications where I don't know it matters too much, but.
Well, I think, any tool, if you're a professional and you're doing it like yourself on a daily basis, you might want to go for the high-end products. But, the average homeowner, like middle of the road's probably plenty good. This one here looks like it's kind of middle of the road. And one thing about that, if you happen to misplace it or lose it, you're not going to be crying that you lost the $50 spackle knife, right? You can go get one for maybe, $10 or something.
Well,
so
it's funny you say that, Larry, because maybe I'm subconsciously sending a message out to the universe, because I hate sheetrock work. Please don't call me to hire me to do sheetrock work. I'll do it in a pinch, and I'll do it for my own house, but I don't enjoy it at all. So yeah, I'm not going to go buy the $50 spackle knife. I don't want that. I get work doing other things. I don't need that.
You don't do anywhere near as much sheetrock as I do.
But like a paint, you would agree, like a paintbrush or something, you want to get a really high quality paintbrush, because that's you're putting your finish on. So there's some products you want to spend that extra money to get the really good stuff. But something like this is something middle of the road is fine.
Yeah.
So that way, if you do misplace it or you happen to leave it somewhere, it's not a huge deal. You can get a replacement one. But
yeah. So the 3-inch spackle knife is a really great item to have, and just depending on your needs, get the high end or the low end. So, hey Larry, we don't want to get out of here today. As we said, if you listen to at the beginning of the show, today is a 7-year anniversary for Allan and I on the radio. We started off in the geek world. Well, we're still going strong with Geek Tank Radio, but at some point in 2018. We merged over to the home improvement world. And Larry, it's basically your fault that this happened. So
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no, it's been a great relationship. And it was, I think, right around this time of the year. That
it was February 2018. I'll never forget.
Okay. All right. So that you actually, started the show. And it's been great. I mean, you guys have done a great job. And, obviously, hopefully it'll last for many more years.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were on another network, and I guess we can say Kim Shoemate, he hosted a show for years, the Fix It Up show.
Yeah.
And he retired rather abruptly, right, Larry? You were on the air that
it was,
day.
I think Kim kind of was, was ready. He made a decision to retire, and he pulled the trigger, which was fine. And I still talk to Kim. He's still a friend of mine. Still talk to him all the time.
He's
if you're listening, hey Kim.
Yep.
So, but he's a great guy, and I did the show with him for 4 or 5 years prior to him retiring. Again, still a great guy. And if right now, if I had a question about something, I'd either call you or I'd call him. So he's that knowledgeable. But he decided to retire. He decided to leave, and you guys kind of jumped in and took the reins, and here we are.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a need, and apparently they liked having a home improvement show, so we kept it going, and it was really because, Larry, you and some other sponsors would keep, you would visit the show, but you weren't prepared for every week, hosting your own show. That's a lot of work in addition, so you need somebody to kind of, that was a glutton for punishment like us.
Absolutely. 48 weekends a year committing to a Saturday morning. No, thank you. So, but, it was, I know Kim did it for 25 years, and he kind of laid the foundation for this show. So, great. It's a Memphis tradition. We need to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a lot of fun. And so, it's neat. I guess we'll be clocking these. I don't know where we'll be by our 10-year anniversary, but it's funny how quickly 7 years goes, Allan. It feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but, it all started in the geek realm, and it's funny how things just expand. But I remember meeting Larry in the hallway over at the other studios, and the conversation got going, and it's just interesting.
Next thing I knew, you were calling me going, no, really?
Yeah.
You can get up on a Saturday morning, Allan. Really, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So,
Be at the show at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, get up early, Allan. I know you write vampire books and you love to be up all night, but you can get up early in the morning.
Right.
That's the bigger mystery. How did we talk Allan into this? He's a total night owl. So, you haven't slept in 4 years, right?
It's been a while, so.
Yep, and of course we've drugged this innocent Max into the mix here, and he's.
What did you just? Oh, I think you're naive, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know how innocent, but
I've heard the rejoiners.
Yeah, the devious Max. So.
Yeah, I like devious. Devious seems to qualify him better.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Larry, before we get out of here, one more shout out. How do people get in touch with the good people at Brown Refrigeration? So.
Well, you can give us a call. 901-362-1881 is our number. Give us a call anytime, or if you want to check out our website, brownref.com. It's got a lot of great information there. If we can help you with any of your HVAC needs, be more than happy to help you.
Absolutely. And if you get out, if you want to get out today, and especially you ladies, get over to the spring market over at the Agri Center. Go talk to our friend Cindy Williams with Shelf Genie in the Mid-South. That place is rocking. Wonder if they're serving mimosas or anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a party. But guys, it's time to get out of here. The clock is ticking away, and it's time to scoot. So you've been listening to another action-packed and dynamic episode of Tool Talk Radio. And on behalf of my friends Allan Gilbreth and Max Behind the Glass and our buddy Larry Brown, I'm Joe Thorderson. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.